Hello, my Asian friends living in Asia or else any other part of the world right now. I am your Asian friend living, residing, and thriving in South Asia. My dear Asian friends, have you ever given a thought or else got a chance to give a thought about the fact that our continent Asia is one such landmass on this entire planet Earth, which is actually homeland or else the origination place for all the religions on this earth, which are being practiced by so many people right now? If not all, then so many of the major religions were actually originated or founded within the different regions of our continent Asia. Doesn't matter what kind of philosophy they follow, whether they were monotheistic or polytheistic, doesn't matter. They were originated in our continent Asia. But my Asian friend, I am not here to discuss about those religions or their existence or their formation or spread. No, I'm not here to talk about that. I am here as an Asian to talk about something else, which is also being practiced within our continent Asia, which is so damn ancient that it is even more ancient than one of the most ancient religion which originated in our continent known right now. It is so ancient, and the misconceptions around this practice are so damn high that so many of us ignorant Asians, and not just Asians, rest of the world believes that this particular practice is either getting extinct or else is only practiced within certain specific regions of continent Africa or continent North America only. This particular practice is actually known as the ancestor worship. Ancestor worship is so damn ancient that its roots can be traced back to the era and time where a man or woman didn't have this idea that their race can one day live this kind of civilized life. This is so ancient that it was practiced in those, even in those times where the man or a woman didn't even have any idea that they are supposed to wear clothes in public or even in private. It's that ancient. This particular practice is believed that only certain specific regions practice it, and as Asians we have just washed our hands. This is not practiced within our regions. Most of us, they are so ignorant, either we believe this or else we don't even know that okay, in our day-to-day existence as Asians, this is something which is intertwined in our cultures and our founded religions, or in our day-to-day existence. And if at all some of us know about it, we tend to believe that only we are the ones who are flag bearers of this practice and rest of the world don't do it, especially the rest of the Asians don't do it. But as an Asian, I am here to figure out those points and figure out those factors which are helpful in uniting us as Asians by and large. Because as an Asian, I am going to circle or center this video around this practice called ancestor worship from the Asian perspective or Asian factor, because I'm here to unite Asia. Because we are always very ignorant about each other. We want to feel related to our other continent counterparts. But I am here to unite ourselves. And this is yet another factor which I found, which is actually uniting us in so many different ways. If at all you're still interested and you're not bored and you want to know in depth, then please follow this video through and stick by this video, stick by me, and we'll have fun. And it's not just one video. I think I might have to create n number of videos to cover this one particular topic which you think is getting extinct right now, my Asian friend. So please stay tuned, and in the next section I am going to talk about what are the ideas and philosophies about following this practice within our continent. As I already mentioned, my ancient friend, that this particular practice is so ancient. But what are the ideas and philosophies about this particular practice? Why exactly people do it and or else had been doing it? So one of the major reasons which I found was that many a times people of certain regions and you can say races believe that we exist right now simply because there were so many ancestors or lines of ancestors who actually gave birth to their predecessors, led the life which they led, secured their families, and because of that, as a result, we get a chance to enjoy this beautiful blessing from Almighty called life. So, as to show respect, love, and reverence to their elders, or maybe the passed on ancestors, people tend to do this practice called ancestor worship. This is one reason. The another reason which I found out was that certain regions or certain countries within our continent do this practice and believe. What is the idea behind it? That all of us want to feel secure. We need protection, and if at all an attack on a living being is coming from a spirit world, which might be an evil spirit, for us to be protected from those evil spirits, we need a good spirit around us. And who will be the best candidate to be the evil spirit? That can be someone who relates to us, who is actually in our bloodline, because blood is always thicker than anything else. So that is why they believe that if we will offer certain things to our ancestors, we will worship to them, we will respect them, we will remember them. That way they will be getting all the energy needed so that they can ward off or fight all the evil spirits which might end up attacking us living predecessors. So this is one, you can say, another idea behind this practice called ancestor worship. And the third and final idea which I found behind this practice was, many of the people believe that while we are living, of course we need so many things on daily basis for our day-to-day existence. Us breathing or being able to just have water is not enough. We need so many things to survive in this you can say challenge called life. So the same way, when our ancestors pass on after death, they are going into certain world which is not known to the living, but that world does exist. So that in that world they will have afterlife, and within that afterlife they might need certain resources which they cannot directly get it from the living world, because no one is allowed to take the resources from the living world to the afterlife while they themselves are dying. So someone has to offer those powers, someone has to offer those offerings, someone has to provide them with the food or water, whatever they might need in their afterlife. And if at all any of the living predecessors fail to do so, then those ancestors who have passed on might struggle. And once they struggle, they might take out their anger on the living beings, and they might end up destroying or maybe at least affecting the lives of the living beings. So living beings do not want any chaos coming from the ones who have passed on, because we are already stuck with so many living people which are our relatives around us. We don't want the, you can say, the dead to come and annoy us. So out of, you can say, fear, respect, or you can say one day even we might become someone's ancestor, so at least we should do something about it. So from this emotion or idea, this is one third philosophy which is behind this ancestor worship, why people do it in different regions of our continent, Asia. In the next section, we are of course going to you can say, bust the myths around its geographic spread, and we'll talk about that. So I hope you're not getting bored, and stay tuned. If we were to discuss this ancient practice of ancestor worship from the lens of who does it, who is responsible for it, whose moral and ethical responsibility it is, are we doing it in groups or individually or as families? So from the this lens, my Asian friend, I have to break it to you, even in this day and age, so many families within our continent Asia, so many cultures and countries believe that the eldest son of the family is the one who is responsible to do these rituals. And if at all you do not have a son as the eldest kid of your family, then someone else who is also a male member of their family and who is actually in line in the ancestry, they are the ones who are responsible. Sadly, there are still so many cultures who believe that if the you can say the eldest kid of your family is a daughter, then whatever she offers will not reach to the ancestors, only the eldest son of the family can do it. So these are the, you can say, rules around it in so many cultures which are still believed. And within those cultures there are so many communities who are actually busting the myth and letting people know that a predecessor is a predecessor and ancestor is an ancestor. Doesn't matter who offers what. At the end of the day, if the ancestors are being offered whatever they need in their afterlife by their predecessors through correct rituals with good intentions and you can say religiously and consistently, then those offerings do reach to their ancestors. So this belief is also getting changed with the changing time, but still there are so many cultures who still believe that the eldest son of the family is responsible for it. And if at all you are someone who is a male who has actually passed on and you have died and you only gave birth to daughters, then there are certain specific regions or families who still believe that maybe only the brother of that particular person who has passed on is responsible, or his son can be the one who can provide him the offerings which he can get in the afterlife. So many a times all these ritual doing activities women do not partake in, not just the daughters of the family. Many a times in certain cultures women are responsible to you can say prepare the ritualistic food, or else do all the preparations around these, you can say, ancestor worship festivals. But somewhere or the others, other whatever they offer, it's still believed that it might not reach to the ancestors. So this does happen, and in other matriarchal societies, or maybe changing with changing beliefs, people are saying that okay, doesn't matter if a predecessor is with good intention offering the food, it does reach to the concerned person who has passed on after death into the next lifetime. And this is one thing which can be little painful for my particular gender, which is kind of sad for us, but it's okay, it's not our headache. Yeah, don't worry. Or if at all the eldest son of the family has to do it, let them do it now, because they are free from this duty till the point their fathers are alive. Once their fathers are also gone to the next life, then it is their lifetime duty to offer the offerings to their ancestors until they pass on or move to the afterlife. So it's okay. It's also not only it is a, you can say, privilege which sometimes in certain cultures come with the gender, but it can also be a burden for someone who is actually either not into it, who actually logically does not believe in these practices, or else it is difficult, because whenever the times within the different regions come where the ancestor worship happens, because it does not happen all throughout the year. There are so many countries which actually do this practice only in the particular time of the year. So during that time, the people who are supposed to perform these rituals are super busy, and they have strict rules and regulations how exactly they're supposed to bathe, how they are supposed to wear, what practices they are supposed to do. And many a times in many cultures they are actually supposed to restrict themselves on dietary levels also. So it is a difficult practice to be followed all throughout your life for particular amount of days. So with this fast paced moving life, if you are not supposed to do it culturally, I think the positive out of this is that instead of getting offended, we can see the you can say silver lining, and we don't have to morally or ethically, we are not responsible to do this, and any brunt of our mistakes will not come directly to us. Because if at all you do something wrong, then entire bloodline or family are believed to get cursed or punished many a times in certain regions. So you do not have to bear that burden. So I think that's okay if we don't have to do it and we are not supposed to do it. But whosoever are doing it are mostly the eldest son of the family, and if at all their fathers or their grandparents are still alive, then they are not supposed to do it as of now. But by the time they lose their ancestors, then they are the ones who are supposed to do it for all of their ancestors whichever existed, about whom they don't even know. They have to do it for their entire lifetime until unless they pass on to the next lifetime, and the same cycle repeats. So this is one thing which I wanted to add on regarding this factor. One this practice called ancient worship has got so many misconceptions around it. It is so much so demonized that not only people do not know what are the ideas behind its existence or its practice, some people also believe that it is practiced within only small regions within our planet. But by and large, so many people are so ignorant within our continent that they do not know that this particular practice called ancestor worship is very much spread out. If you, as an Asian, believe only East Asians or East Asian countries follow this practice and rest of the Asia is not doing it, then you're highly mistaken, my friend. You need to catch up to the facts, which I will tell you in this particular section, so don't worry. If we are little aware about this practice, some of us know that or maybe not know, actually we believe only China, Japan and South Korea practice this on daily basis or yearly basis. But my friend, this practice is also practiced within the South Asia, within the East Asia, Southeast Asia, North Asia and in West Asia also. The idea or maybe the way of doing things might differ, but this practice is actually spread across entire Asia, and many a times it is actually either parallelly done with whatever religion we are following, because some of the regions within a continent Asia believe it to be a culture, not just not a religious practice. But in certain other regions within our continent Asia, this particular practice is actually intertwined in the religion, so and so, so much so that anyone and everyone who follows that particular religion does it, simply because the religion itself in its base or its pillar itself is that people are governed by their karmas, and until unless those karmas are not done, they are not balanced, you will keep on coming into this life, keep on dying, and you need some assistance and help while you are going through this process, especially when you are going through death. So some of the religions have this practice intertwined in their religion itself, and in some other regions the practice was done in ancient years, but over the years, because of coming of monotheistic religions which actually focus on praying to only one entity of God or only one form of God, so they are very much repelled or opposed to this idea, so they do not worship the ancestors, but they actually still do the ancestor worship, not worshipping to the ancestors but actually worshipping for the ancestors. So little transformation has happened, but still this particular practice is still being practiced regardless of whatever we think within our regions as Asians. So if I will pinpoint it out, then you can say geographically in China it is known as China, Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, it is known as Ming festival. I'm really sorry if I am butchering the pronunciation. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. But you got the idea. And we have spring. You can say Spring Festival, Ghost Festival. In Japan, it is known as Obon. In South Korea, we have Jessa during Chuseok. Vietnam, it is Tin Nyung To Kung Ta Tin. And in India, it is known as Shraddh. Yes, South Asians also do it, but it is known as Shraddh. In Nepal, it is called Kirat. In Cambodia, it is called Pichum Ben. Sri Lanka, it's Devya worship. And in Indonesia, it's Pasola. Thailand, it's Saint Donta. Hong Kong, Ching Ming Festival. These are one of the few festivals, which are festivals, or you can say the time during the year, which I mentioned, which are heavily focused on ancestor worship. Apart from this, if I will talk about how exactly people think and what are the inspiration behind it, like in within Southeast Asia, if Chinese people are doing the ancestor worship, then their idea is usually around that okay, they need protection from the spirits and they need someone to protect us, protect them from you can say spirit world. So they do it in that form. They believe that okay, ghosts and spirits exist and we need protection from them, and for that to happen we need to give some offerings. Whereas if we will talk about Shraddha, which is being practiced in India in during the September or you can say September or starting October time, this is one particular time of the year where you can say specifically Indians believe that the gates of the heaven open and all your ancestors come back to earth, and you are supposed to provide them with something. And by providing them, we mean that we provide a pindi. Pindi is actually a bowl of rice and some water and some grass, which is something which can be transported, which is something believed in the religion which is transportable to the next world, and we offer it to our ancestors and believe that ancestors will get it in the form of ravens eating it. If a crow or raven is eating it, that would mean that our ancestors to whom we have offered this food during this time got their food for the rest of the year. So for Indians, this is the idea behind it. And usually the misconception, or you can say the weirdness around the ancestor worship is not found in either North Asia or Southeast or South Asia or East Asia. actually the heebie-jeebies the Asians get within our continent, usually they are from West Asia. Why? Because in the ancient years, this practice was very, very prevalent. People from that region were following it. But post the, you can say, in origination of the monotheistic religions, which were Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, the ideas changed. The you can say the originators of these religions believe that there is only one true God, and you can bow down in front of them only, and you can only worship to that particular entity of God and no one else. Because of that, people from that religion, you can say region in within our continent, West Asia, which is aka Middle East right now, they started, you can say, moving away from this practice. But because this practice was so ancient with and so intertwined in their culture itself, that instead of people totally abandoning it, they actually transformed it. And I will prove it to you, because many of the people who actually are from you can say Christianity and Islam, they frequently visit the graves of their ancestors, the people who were their loved ones who have passed on, and they go to their graves and do prayers, not with them, not to them, but for them. But at the end of the day, it is still an ancestor worship. Doesn't matter if at all you are praying to one entity which you believe in to be the god. Doesn't matter, at least at the end of the day, even if for their own benefit, for your ancestors benefit, you are praying, right? Rest of the world, if even if they are offering food to their ancestors or praying to them in return, still the idea is that whosoever, as our ancestor, has passed on or after death to another life, their life should be easy. Their you can say evil deeds must be forgiven. They should get a better chance in life, or they should have a easier afterlife experience. So from that perspective, even West Asians who are more into practicing monotheistic religion are also knowingly, unknowingly doing the ancestor worship, if not to them, not with them, but for them. But at the end of the day, from this particular idea which I explained just now, they too are doing the ancestor worship. So this is yet another factor which is uniting us Asians so much so that we have so much to discuss about, so much to talk about. This is yet another factor which makes us Asians quite similar to each other. Even if we believe that we are so different from each other, but still from this factor also we are quite similar to each other. So what's harm in uniting each other so much so that we have a very united front in front of the rest of the world, and they cannot take our advantage, and we are more aware about our own people's existence. So this was yet another topic which I thought I should let you know as your Asian friend. And believe me, all the festivals which I mentioned right now, they have so many things in them, they are so undiscussed, that I think I might have to literally create one series which will only be centered around ancestor worship only. That is why from my next video onwards, we will one by one start exploring the countries and the cultures who do the ancestor worship practice even till today, which are actually quite unknown right now in the social media. And from them, we will move to one of the most known countries or regions within our continent, Asia, which are into ancestor worship, be it through religion or else they are doing it parallelly because it's intertwined in their culture. And if you are interested, please do let me know that if I should continue, even if you think that I should not continue, but I think this is a great topic, so I will keep on continuing. And I hope you will support me and stick by me, and in the process both of us as Asians will get educated not only on this factor but so many factors which actually are helpful in uniting us and we don't even know about. So stay tuned. Bye.